never cared about the warning signs. With that Coca-Cola Hennessy, I'm already fine. Just play your favorite song to me. I'm living a daydream, I'm not sleeping. As long as you're right here by my side. Even if I wake up, that won't change it. 'Cause I'm married to the summertime. I'm living a daydream, I'm not sleeping. As long as you're right here by my side. Even if I wake up, that won't change it, no. 'Cause I'm married to the summertime. Summertime. Married to the summertime. Summertime. Married to the summertime.
I got a crystal next to my bed. Bad thoughts slipping out of my head. Little money in the bank 'cause I got that check. Not much but I pay that rent.
Got an old car and it's all keyed up. I don't really care 'cause I still pull up. Gonna have a good time 'cause I got enough. And I ain't gon' sweat it when it's all fucked up.
'Cause I don't focus on the things that I don't have, only on the things that I got. I don't focus on the things that don't feel bad, only on the things that I got. I got a crystal next to my bed.
Bad thoughts slipping out of my head. Rather love what I have than to have it all. Yeah, who knew it could be so simple?
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Who knew it could be so?
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Who knew it could be so? Close friends on my team, real ones, only ones I need. No, I don't get likes, but I do get calls. 'Cause my fam don't text, we talk.
So when I'm all alone, sitting in my room, meditating to my favorite tune. Let it all go, let it all come in. Wake up tomorrow, do it all again. 'Cause I don't focus on the things that I don't have, only on the things that I got. I don't focus on the things that don't feel bad, only on the things that I got. Got a crystal next to my bed.
Bad thoughts slipping out of my head. Rather love what I have than to have it all. Yeah, who knew it could be so simple? Who knew it could be so? Who knew it could be so?
'Cause I don't focus on the things that I don't have, only on the things that I got. I don't focus on the things that don't feel bad, only on the things that I got. I got a crystal next to my bed.
Bad thoughts slipping out of my head. Rather love what I have than to have it all. Yeah, who knew it could be so simple? Who knew it could be so? Who knew it could be so?
Yeah, if they told me I should stay right here. And I need to change slowly. And I think they don't know me. I like every place, I like the unknown. I like to to be away, but I love to come home. They want me to stay, but I need to go. Cause I like to be away, but I love to come home. I got no name for it. There is no place like home. I know I fell for it on the day I was born. I like every place, I like the unknown. I like to be away, but I love to come home. They want me to stay, but I need to go. Cause I like to be away, but I love to come home. 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 I love to come home. I was never good with feelings. I was always bad with words, wrestling with all my demons. I let it all out if I could. Help me, I've been a little lost in my own walls. Help me, I'm stuck in the middle. If I could just say sorry, if I can be honest, 'cause lately I just worry that you love me. Caught a moment, searching my own life. Lately I just worry that you love me. Thinking back to when we started, maybe I just came unstrung. Had to leave you broken hearted. Oh my God, what have I done? Help me, I've been a little lost in my own walls. Help me, I'm stuck in the middle. If I could just say sorry, if I can be honest, 'cause lately I just worry that you love me. Caught a moment, searching my own life. Lately I just worry that you love me. Those two laughing eyes, I fall for them each time. They look right at me like there's only you and I whisper in your ear how beautiful you are. From head to toes magic, it's healing all my scars. I wonder if you like me, I feel so insecure. I wish that I could hold you in my arms. And I wonder why you're always on my mind. I wonder if you feel my heart tonight. I wonder if I'm always on your mind, on your mind. When I close my eyes, you're right here by my side. In this warm summer night, there's only you and I whisper in your ear how beautiful you are. From head to toes, magic, it's healing all the scars. I wonder if you like me, I feel so insecure. I wish that I could hold you in my arms. And I wonder why you're always on my mind. I wonder if you feel my heart tonight. I wonder if I'm always on your mind, on your mind. I hope that it's okay if we just stay right here for a while. 'Cause right here in this place, I don't have to say that I wonder why you're always on my mind. I wonder if you feel my heart tonight. I wonder if I'm always on your mind, on your mind. I wonder why you're always on my mind. I wonder if you feel my heart tonight. I wonder if I'm always on your
Thank you, Somalese. Can you hear me? Awesome, awesome. My day is going well. Thanks for asking. I hope it's the same on your side as well. Awesome, awesome. Greetings, everyone, again. As Somalese introduced me, I'm Nassis Mbuyu. I was presented last week, AI, the tool for tomorrow, and this week we'll continue with the same concept, but this time we'll be diving into machine learning. As Somalese mentioned, I also had a similar thought about going swimming. So as you go swimming, the pool is made out of the deep end and the shallow end. Now we'll be diving into the shallow end as we learn how to swim and navigate through the ML world. So thanks for joining. We can get started. Get started. Okay, awesome. Um, so AI, the tool for tomorrow, a dive into machine learning. Let's get started. So, before we get started, I didn't want to do a quick recap because everyone must be watching their videos, must be tuning in every Tuesdays to see what's happening on at AI Tuesday. But just for insight and foundation, for a foundational basis, we'll be going through a quick recap of last week's episode. So last week you mentioned what is artificial intelligence. We mentioned that is the intelligence demonstrated or shown by machines, by devices or the technological devices that we use, and that it's different from us human beings or living organisms, which we have something called natural intelligence. Yes, natural intelligence, and and so that's what different makes the difference between an AI and an AI and a normal human being or normal living organism is that the intelligence that we have is quite different. So that's just what is AI. As I said, an AI is intelligence or shown by a machine or demonstrated or shown by a machine. That's in simple terms what is an AI. So it's just a quick recap, like I said. So what are the key elements that include AI? We mentioned it last week. We talked about machine learning, anomaly detection, computer vision, natural language processing (NPL), and conversational AI. So throughout the next coming weeks, we're going to be focusing on all these four. But this for today, we're going to start with machine learning. So machine learning is the foundation of an AI system, and it's the way we communicate and teach a computer model how to make predictions and draw conclusions from data. And that's what we will be doing today. So before we even start, we have to have like a quick understanding, a quick recap of what is ML or machine learning. As I mentioned earlier, it's the foundation for most AI solutions. It uses statistical techniques or statistical data to give the ability to give machines the ability to learn from the environment that enables them to improve on a particular task without being specifically programmed for that task. So the way it learns from the environment is using sensors, and it uses those sensors to collect and make use of data. So that's how it's able to learn from the environment with the use of sensors. With those sensors, it picks up a lot of data, and that data is used to train the models so that it can improve without being specifically programmed on. Not just sensors, but also from us, like we mentioned last week, that everyone, the moment we use our technological devices, our smartphones, our laptops, the internet, when we're surfing the internet, we are indirectly giving off data. And that data is used to improve a lot of things, which we'll get to find out as well. So that's what leads us into big data. Big data is a large amount of data, and that large amount of data is used to train machine learning models. We'll get to see that just now. And then We also got to find out how machine learning works, as you can see in the small clip that I have below. Firstly, you have to get your data samples. So as you can see, we have collected the data samples of the flowers, and then we put them together and train it into a model, machine learning model, and that machine learning model is able to recognize which type of flowers we present it with out of the samples that we have given it. So it takes a look at all the samples that we give it, and then it's able to detect and predict which type of flower we already have, as you can see in the small clip that I have below. And there you go, folks. If you want to continue or hear of what I have to say, and you find it interesting, it seems like you missed last week's episode, so you can just head back and watch last week's episode before you can join us on today's episode. Thanks. um, so to continue today, we are going to focus on machine learning. So this is machine learning in Microsoft Azure. We spoke about automated machine learning, Azure Machine Learning Designer, data and compute management, and pipelines. So all of these four are in Microsoft Azure. As I mentioned last week, that automated machine learning, Azure Machine Learning Designer is simple. Like for those who don't want any code or don't want to touch any code, they use these ones. Automated machine learning, Azure Machine Learning Designer. If you don't want to touch any code or you have no programming into a background or whatever, you use automated machine learning or Azure Machine Learning Designer. But for those professionals or who want first-end code, they can use data and compute management and pipelines. So for this purpose of our episode today, we won't really be focusing on Azure because we don't even know what is Azure. But I'll leave that to Tori and his crew on .NET Friday to introduce us to what is Azure and what it's able to do. And from there onwards, we'll take a look at what we can do with machine learning on Microsoft Azure, and hopefully we'll do that next week. So what's up for today? Well, interesting enough, when I was preparing today's session, I was kind of stuck, to be honest. I was really kind of stuck because when I was going through my notes, I had to what? I had to learn another language. Not like learn another language, but I had to revise another language. And that language was Python, you know. And I'm a C sharp developer. I'm a Microsoft guru of Microsoft Fanatic, I have to say. And I was kind of heartbroken when I realized that in order for me to get started with machine learning or for me to use machine learning, I have to use Python. And it kind of discouraged me, to be honest. And I was also feeling like I was cheating. I was cheating on Microsoft because it's not a Microsoft language, but Microsoft does push Python as well. It uses Python as well, but not heavily. So it got me thinking, what can I do? Because I don't want to go through the stress of using another language. I want everything to be simple for me. And there you go. Microsoft always comes up with the solution. And they introduced something called ML.net. I'll show you just now. ML.net. Machine learning for .NET applications, as you can see. Machine learning, there you can see this is the ML.net. So machine learning in .NET application, in the .NET environment. So we can use our C# knowledge and make use of machine learning in our application. So whether it's C#, F#, you name it, we can utilize the models of machine learning in our C# application. Like, isn't that cool? Without me having to go through the stress of learning another language, learning Python, using Jupyter, all I can do is make use of Microsoft resources inside and make use of machine learning. I really found that awesome, and it honestly made my life pretty easy. What do you think, Someleza, about that? Yeah, that's good to hear. Thanks, thanks. And so moving on, so what is ML.net? As I mentioned earlier on, ML.net is basically us using machine learning in our .NET application, in the .NET environment. As you can see, it gives us the ability to add machine learning to .NET applications. And it comes with, so it's basically another framework that Microsoft came up with and added into our libraries for us to use. So Microsoft, the thing that everyone loves about Microsoft is that it has all these amazing libraries. As Tori mentioned on Friday, it comes with a lot of packages. It comes with a lot of amazing libraries already built in for us to use. So it also comes with a simplified custom machine learning with automation machine learning, and that's what we're going to check out just now. It also comes with other amazing libraries such as TensorFlow and Onyx. TensorFlow enables us to use custom vision or to detect objects in pictures. We're going to take a look at that now. And it's also proven scale and performance. It increases our performance at a greater scale because we're no more doing the hard part of coding. We're no more stressing about which machine learning to use or which library to use. It's already there, so that's how it increases our performance at a greater scale. So what type of machine learning predictions can I make with ML? We can do classification, regression, anomaly detection, recommendation, time series or sequential data, and image classification. So last week we looked on Wednesday we spoke about data science for women and we were introduced to data science. And in that episode they also mentioned that we can make use of machine learning. So just to let you know that we're not looking at the data science point of view, we are looking at the artificial intelligence point of view of how we can make our lives easy using AI, this type of AI in our lives. So classification is to classify things whether it's good or bad. Regression is to predict the price of a product to predict the price of a product. Anomaly detection, as I mentioned last week, detecting fraud. Recommendations to suggest products to a customer based on previous purchases. This is the type of technologies they use on our Google search engine or being on our Facebook. You just search something on the internet, and then when you're on Facebook, you see it again, you see those adverts. This AI, that's another type of AI that they're using forecast the forecasting the cost of a taxi trip over time, not just the taxi trip, even the weather or some other things that need forecasting. And last but not least, image classification. So in ML.NET, we have three types of builders or models that we can use. We got model builder 2, command line interface 2, and ML.NET API. So for this session, we're going to focus on model builder 2, ML.NET command line interface 2. As for ML.NET API, that involves Azure. So because we're not really introduced to Azure, we will leave that for next week. But for today, we're going to focus on model builder 2 and ML.NET CLI command line interface 2. So same thing as the basics with the ML.NET model 2 builder ML.NET model builder 2, my English. It starts off with a scenario. So you come up with your problem. With your problem, you collect your data that you need. You're gonna train it into your model, into your model builder tool, and then it's gonna generate your code for you. So you just put in your data, right? You put in your data from your scenario that you have, and now it's gonna do the rest of the work for you. It's gonna train your model and it's gonna produce the code for you to use. As I mentioned, we're not gonna focus on Azure, we're gonna focus on a local base. So basically, we're gonna make applications using Visual Studio and Visual Studio or IDE, our preferred integrated development environment. So that's what model builder tool. So since we Microsoft, you're going to be using Visual Studio 2019. So you take your data, put it in Visual 2019, and then it trains it for you and generates the code for you without stressing, without worrying, without going to a data science for help. It makes your life easy. And then, oh, another thing I forgot to mention. ML, this ML.NET, it's mostly used for Windows, and in iOS, the iOS users watching, I'm sorry, there's nothing out there for you as yet. But another for a solution for you comes through ML.NET command line tool. As you can see, it's cross-platform. It can be used anywhere. So as I mentioned before, you just take your data set, put it in the command line interface, and then it generates a zip folder with the best model, and it also generates code for you in order for you to use. And this is pretty awesome. Like, I don't need to go to a data scientist. I don't need to know data science for me to get the results that I want. I just put it in my code in my preferred IDE, and it does the rest for me. Isn't that awesome? That I find it really cool, and we're gonna see it just now. Um, so yeah, it's time for a demo, and I can see some of you, even though I'm not seeing you right now, you're pretty excited as I am. It's time for a demo. It's time for a demo, and let's start. So we're gonna be taking a look at some demos. We'll try and do as many demos as we can so that we can get used to ML.NET, machine learning for .NET applications. So that's what we're gonna do. So what are we going to need to make this demos possible? We're going to need a machine with Visual Studio 2019. It can be your laptop, it can be a computer, it can even be a virtual machine that you're running on Azure, most preferably with Visual Studio 2019, because you're going to need that. And most importantly, you're going to need internet connection for you to download the ML.NET library if you don't have it. But if you have it, that's good. You only need a Visual Studio for us to do these demos. And yeah, so let's begin. Let's begin. So as I said, let's look at our requirements. I'm opening Visual Studio on my side. Studio. So I'll be touching in on some of the things that um, Tori talked about on Friday. He introduced us to the .NET environment. He mentioned that the best way to get started in .NET is to start off with the console application, and that's what we're going to be using in our program today for our demo. We're going to be making a console simple application for us to get started. As I said at the beginning, we're only diving into the shallow end as we're learning how to navigate and swim through this machine learning world. Visual Studio is loading on my side. Before we start coding along, we start coding along. Hmm. What do you think of the session so far, Samaleze? Awesome. I hear you, man. I hear you. As Somalisa just mentioned, it's all about the misconception that's out there in the world, and we hope to change that and give you the tools that you're gonna need to explore this fourth industrial revolution and the future of technology. And it's really awesome if you know what it's about and how it's made. But if you don't know, you're gonna be lost, and we really do not want that. So instead of the AIs taking your jobs for you, instead of AI taking your jobs away, they're gonna do that eventually. But we have the power over them because we can create them and change them and to give them another direction in order for you. So we still have the power over them if you think about it. When you say some Somadeze. Mm. That's true. That's really true to yeah. Um, I have loaded Visual Studio on my side. Thanks for the tips, Omaleze. I've loaded Visual Studio on my side, and now we're just about to start because everyone who uses Visual Studio will just know that it takes forever to load. So we'll get started now. Okay. So as Visual Studio is loading, another insight about coming to our shows every week is that we get to fill you in with the latest Microsoft technologies. So, for example, what I have on the screen here is the Windows terminal, and this is what we're going to use to make our command line interface to do that part of the demo. And this command line interface enables us to use all of the Windows command lines all in one place. So over here we got Windows PowerShell, and then from that we also got command prompt and we got Azure Cloud Shell. It was announced last year at Build 2020 that all of these three will be integrated in one. And on Friday, if you were tuning in on Tori's episode, he showed us how to make use of this command line interface. And not only this one, not only the um, Windows terminal, we also got the Ubuntu line terminal. Let me show you. So there is it, your Ubuntu line terminal. So basically, with this one, if you have like Ubuntu in your system, as a second booting option, you can access the Ubuntu files on your Windows using this line interface. So before everything that you see here, people were using line of codes to navigate through their PCs, to navigate through their laptops. So it just goes to show how far we have come in terms of using technology. So I don't know, and it's only getting better and better and better and better. So yeah, with enough talk, we'll start with the demo. So here's Visual Studio. I'm loading it for the first time because, like I said, we add the shallow in, and we're gonna take it step by step. We're not gonna rush. We're gonna take it step by step that everyone understands. So I'm creating my project, and like I said, we're gonna be making a console application. And as Tori mentioned, in the .NET history brief lesson, he told us about .NET Framework and .NET Core. So for this episode, we are fraying away from .NET Framework because .NET Framework is outdated and it's gonna be stopped soon. So we're gonna be using .NET Core for our session as it's loading. Visual Studio is giving up on me now. It's giving up on me. But to not waste any more time, because I wanted to start off from Visual Studio and then go to the command line, but it's taking its own sweet time. Taking its own sweet time. Maybe I should have opened this beforehand. But I wanted to do it step by step for our viewers. So mm, please hurry up. So I'm loading this one on for the first time, and there you go. So console application, it's the first thing that you see because I've loaded it for the first time, and it's C sharp. So like I said, we're doing it for Microsoft languages. This is C sharp. I don't know Visual Basics. I don't really know about it. And there's other concepts for that we can go through, but for now we're gonna deal with console application. And if you can't find it on your screen, to just narrow your search down, you just use these three toolboxes over here. You just go to all languages, which language that you want. You want C sharp. Which platform do you want it? You want it in Windows because it's a window application. And what type of application? We want a console. So it now narrows it down for us. We got console application, .NET Core, .NET Framework, and this other one, code analysis. For, like I said, console application is the one that we're using because it's the latest version, and you can even see it's cross-platform. Unlike the .NET Framework is it's not cross-platform. So I don't know how Tori spot. I'll stick to AI and not .NET. But anyway, so you're gonna name your project, and we're gonna name it test. Let's create it quickly. It's creating our project. So, like I said, with .NET Core, it enables us to add all the latest features. And now I'm gonna show you how to add ML.NET in your project that you just created. If you don't have it, then you can go onto the official website and download it. Let me show you the official website while it's loading. ML.NET. Mm, ML.NET. Yeah, it's taking really long. You just go to the Microsoft official website, and there you go, ML.net. So if you don't have the ML.net, you can just come here. This is also where you can get the documentation for machine learning in .NET application. You just come here and you get started. You can download the SDK that you will need, and you'll also, if you don't know anything about it, you can also learn from it, as you can see. So this is what I want to show you right now, where you just come to your application and add machine learning, and you'll be able to do all of this. I'm just waiting for Visual Studio to load. So this is a clip, a preview of what we're going to do just now. Let's see if it's finished loading. Yes, it is finished loading. So there is my application. Let's bring it this side, and there you go. Another feature that they announced at Build, I tried telling Tori about it, is that they went away they went away with the use of namespaces. Tori's talked about namespaces, and it's no longer there. So now our code is nice and clean and easy to use. You won't really get confused. Everything is just gone and minimized. So we have already have a default code reading for us, hello world. So this is the basic where you can get started with .NET framework, with C Sharp and console application. So to jump on to our purpose of the demo of today, so your program is loaded. You're just gonna come to your solution explorer, right click for it to load so that we can add machine learning. So click add, and then you see over here machine learning. So you're gonna click that. We're doing it for the first time. So it says, would you like to enable the .NET Model Builder preview feature so you can add machine learning to your project? Yes, we're gonna enable it. So I already have it installed, so I won't really install it again. And there are also other things that you can enable in your project so you can do it. Like I like everything, so I'm just putting everything. But the important one is this one: enable machine learning.NET model builder. And now we're inserting it. So now we're waiting for it to load. As it's loaded, it should be loaded by now. It should be loaded. So now we go back to add machine learning. And as we press it again, it's been added into our project. We should see this. Look at this. So it allows us to select the scenario that we want. Text classification, value prediction, image classification, recommendation, and anomaly detection, forecasting, clustering, object detection. Without any writing code, we just choose which scenario we want to use or to work with, and then we just work our magic. So these are the scenarios that's been given to us, and for this scenario, we're gonna choose a value prediction. We're gonna calculate the prices of a taxi. Okay, we're gonna calculate the prices of taxi rides. How is it going to increase, or how is it going to decrease using machine learning? So that is our demo for now. So after choosing your scenario, you can either do it on Azure, or you can do it locally. For now, we're doing it locally. And then the next step is to get our data. Our data, you can use a database to get your data, or you can use an Excel spreadsheet file, and that's what we're going to do. Cab rides. So this is the cab rides folder that I have, and if you want to test it out, another place for you to get sample data is Kellogg's, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I forgot the name way to get sample data, but I'll put it in the description box for you to see. So there you go. I have my sample data with with all the information that I need. So we chose our location of the data. You see CSV, TSV, or TXT. And now we choose the column that we want to predict. So we want to predict the price. So the price is there. It's been taken out. So I can't do it again, but I chose price. So it takes out all the tables in that spreadsheet that you have, and then puts it all for you to choose. And I chose price, and then the other ones are there left as a result. If you don't want to use any of the other fields, then you can just untick them, or you can keep them. So I want to keep all of them, right? So the next step is for us to train our model. So now the recommended training time is 10 minutes, and 10 minutes in seconds is 600 seconds. So your amount of time, the amount of time that you must train depends on the size of your data. If your data is less than 1 gigabyte, then it's recommended that you train it for 10 minutes for you to get accurate results, or it can even take longer. The more time you use to you dedicate to training your model, the more accurate your results will be. So for us, we're going to leave it on 600 seconds for 10 seconds, and we're going to start training. So as you can see here, a pop-up box just came through here, and it's starting to train. And you see the timer is also going on, 9 minutes 48 seconds there. But I really don't want to bore you while we wait. We're just going to keep it there so people can see how it's going on. But I've already done it for you, so we're just going to open the already made application. Let me open it. Any questions so far, Someleze? Okay, awesome, awesome. Um, okay, let me open it up. I'm opening the application. Hopefully, it's already there, so I can show you how it is. Let me show you the picture of how it's already done. Um, hmm, okay, it's loading. While the timer is coming, it's loading. So as you can see, it's training our model so we can get accurate results based on the data that we have, as I mentioned before. So it's training. After training, it's going to give us a chance to test our data, to test the model that we've just created. And thereafter, we get to input it into the code. We get to get the code. It makes the code version for us. And we're going to see it just now as it's doing. So we don't need to write any code. That's what I want to emphasize. We don't need to write any code. If you're a developer and you don't know anything about data science, or you don't know any data science friends, you can use this tool, this artificial intelligence tool, to do the work for you. As it says, artificial intelligence is there to help us and to achieve a certain goal using its intelligence, and that's what it's doing right now. So as you can see, it's already went through the first table. There's the results of the test that it's going through right now. I'm just loading the already made one before I show you the second demo. And hopefully we can end with an image classification demo. 7 minutes remaining. But if it doesn't finish, we'll just use the already made one. Mm, awesome, awesome. Um, Let me load it this side. My Visual Studio has a lot of ohms right now. It's really resisting. So there's an already made application that I made earlier on before the session. So this is how it's going to look like. Let me see the results. Results, where to get the results. So to see how it looks like. Hmm. Okay, looks like the results has been hidden. Let me just double check. Output. So we must look for output, 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 view, view. Hmm. Output. Okay, there's nothing here to see the results. So this is already a made application, but how we got to this part, this phase is already being done over here on in the back of the screen. As you can see, it's 5 minutes left, but because of time, we're just gonna use the one that's already made. So there is it over here. So as you can see, once it's already made, we get to transfer the code. The after it finishes training the model that we have, we get the C sharp code of the application. So as you can see, we started off with this one with program CS hello world. It just said a hello world on that part. But then, as you can see, this is what we started off, and now this is what we ended off. It adds two more solutions to our application. This one here, ML.model is the model application part of it, and this one is the console application part of it. So let's take a look in the machine learning model part of it. So it gives us a model zip where our information of our model is stored as a zip file, is stored as a zip file, and also the C sharp code of it is it's there below. My Visual Studio is resisting with me. Why Visual Studio? Why? Let's see. How many minutes left? 3 minutes. Visual Studio is it has a lot of ohms, I'm telling you. It's totally resisting with me right now. Mm. Okay. Anytime now. Okay, while we wait for Visual Studio to comply, let's just look at this one while we wait. Mm, so as I said, this is what we started off with. This is what we started off with. A simple console application for those who are starting to learn C sharp. This is how you're gonna learn. This is what you start off with. So whilst we're on this topic, I would also like to share what I use to learn C sharp. I started learning C sharp in grade 11. In fact, I taught myself C sharp in grade 11. And it was quite hectic because we were also learning Delphi in high school. So I had to balance the two out. But I just started learning C sharp because I felt like it was going to help me in life. And come first year of university, 2019, it made my life easy. I really, whilst no offense to others were like, by learning it for the first time, for me, it was kind of a walk in because I already knew what they're talking about. And what I use is something called Solo Learn. For Tori, he preferred watching videos, YouTube videos. I'm the type of guy that likes to write a lot. So this is what I use to learn C sharp. For those who are watching and want to learn C sharp, this is Solo Learn, an application that you can use to learn any programming language that you want of your choice. And it's just not limited to C sharp. It's loading. Um, let's see, yeah, there's it, yeah. So this is Solo Learn, what I used to learn my C sharp. It's here, Solo Learn. So you just create an account. You can sign in with your Facebook account. You create your account and then you start ahead and you learn C sharp. It gives you only the important things that you need. So it's loading. Let me just take a look at our results while we're testing. So like I said, we have no choice but to make it 10 minutes. Wouldn't want to make you wait this long, but I'm just showing you the struggles and the hardships that you'll face when tackling this project. So because it's not really a walk in the park. People in the movies portray coding and IT tap buttons and all that, and then you in. But it's actually not that. It's actually a struggle if you look at it correctly and thoroughly. Other the developers out there watching will know what I'm talking about. And as I said, this is our input. So it creates a class for the input for us to enter our information. It creates a class for our output, what must be outputted. So as you can see, it's making use of OOP, object oriented programming, already done for us without us doing anything. And then here is the program, the program for it. So using the data that we just made with the first result, it's already there and it's going to output it. Let's test it out. Let's test it how it's gonna look. But now I'm just gonna overload my Visual Studio even more. Okay, so it's loading. The program running is loading. Let's check. Ish, Visual Studio, why are you doing this to me? You see, people, this is the struggles that we face. Hmm, build succeeded. Now, why don't you want to run? Hmm, it's giving us problems. Let's check the other one. Yes. So there we go, folks. Our model just finished training. So here is it. It's just produced the results of the model that we have. So it took 10 minutes to train, and this is the results of our of the training that it went through. So it said ML task. It says regression. So we chose regression, and the data set, where is it getting the files from? We want to predict the price and how much it took, how long it took, and the total number of models explored too. So the models that were made were a light GBM regression. So this is the type of regression that it chose appropriate or it found fit for our data source, and then SD regression. So that's another type. So two models, it's recommending for us to use two models. So it's still finalizing our result. Still taking long. Still taking long. Eish. Live coding, as Somalese just said. But this is why people prefer to just pre-record so they can get all the faults and mistakes out of the way. With this one, it's still giving us a problem about attaching a live model. Oh, I'm running the model, not the actual thing. Mm, yeah, okay, I want to run it, but because of time, I'm just gonna pass on to the second way of doing things. So this is the command line interface part. We'll get back to Visual Studio because it has its own agenda. We're gonna come to Visual Studio command line interface, the second part that we talked about. And for me, I'm a classic guy and I prefer classic things, so I'll go back to command prompt CMD because I'm a classic guy. Which one do you prefer, Somalese? Um, so yeah, we start off with some things. So we start off with our folder. So in order for us to start, we have to create a folder for our solution. Oh, there we go. It's finished training, and we can choose to train it again to get the better results. And these are the results of the training as I mentioned below. Best quality 0.974, best model light GBM regression, training time models explode 1. So now we get to evaluate. So now we're going to test our data that we've just put in. So it takes in the first table, the first field of our table, and now it gives us an option to predict. So let's see. So now it's predicted that the price will go up by four in this is in dollars, so $4.09 or 09 cents. So this is the prediction based on what it's been given. So let's look at the price over here. So the distance is 0.44. All these details, and where is the price? The price is not shown because it's predicted 4.09. So if this person took a Lyft taxi and went about this distance, it's gonna have to pay $4.09. And I find it cool that I didn't need to write any code. I didn't really need to do anything. The artificial intelligence part of it did it for me. And now that we have predicted it, let's get the code for it. So I just click code and add to project. So we're giving it a few minutes. It's loading into our project. It's loading. So now it's telling us how to use this projects that we've added. Try the model, run test ML console application to make prediction on sample data. Consume the model. In test, add the following user directive which you consume your model, and then add your input and use consume model to load the model and predict output. So this is how it's the next step for you to implement this, and we'll click on the tutorial for those to see. um, it's loading, but like I said, it's already loaded our project. So you can see this is the one we started off with, and then this is the ones that it added: test ML console application and model. As I mentioned, that the zip is the model zipped in a zip folder, and then the model input is the class for the input of the samples that we have, and the output is the output of what we're trying to predict, which is the score or the price. And then the program, if you look at the program and the code, so this is the code that it has for us, already made for us. We now just have to adjust it. Let's just look at all the code that's already for us. So you see it already has everything for us, and even the results of the test that it went through. Let's run it quickly. Program CS, let's run and see what it says. Run. It's building. It's building. Let's close this one to save up memory. Which one are we closing now? Closing this. Whoa. And now I'm confused. Just closing to save up the memory. And it's loading. Should finish building right now. As it's loading, we'll jump onto our command line interface, get it ready. So what I'm going to do is create a folder for us to work on our command line interface while the project is loading. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thanks for the time, Somalese. Um, okay, so to wrap up, I will just end off with the tutorial for the command line, even though it's not it's gave us a hard time, but we managed to pull it off, and we're gonna see results just now. So this is the command line interface part of it, right? So the first thing you're gonna do is you need to go into your folder. So now I'm navigating through my my PC. This is how they did it beforehand. CD desktop. So now I'm in the desktop, and now list the directories. So now my folder is AI. Um, AI. So now with that folder, let's see, CD AI. And now now we're in CD AI. Computer's frozen. It's really frozen. But anyway, folks, hopefully you've seen the struggles of how everything gets produced. But because of time, I'm just going to present everything already made. So I'm gonna show you of what was supposed to happen. The first thing that I wanted to show you guys was to create and install your ML tool in your command line interface, and we're seeing it a picture of it now. Before we conclude, so there you go. Let me maximize it. So there you go. The first thing you're supposed to say is um, .NET tool install gmlnet MLnet. So there's it, y'all. So this is the what the code that you're supposed to write in order for you to install. And if you notice that I spelled it wrong, so if you have spelling error or you don't have the right tools installed on your PC, it's gonna give you problems. So I did it for the right time, for the correctly. I said .NET tool install a dash G ML machine learning net. So after doing that, I I was able to use the machine learning tools, and there's it here. So after that, I just typed ML and it gave me the commands for which I can use. For while using code interface, we're using classification, regression, recommendation, and image classification using a command line interface. And then again, I tested it for 10 minutes. Like I said, the 10 minutes, I gave it a sample data. There's my sample data over here. This is what I said. I said the regression data set capright.cv label column 6. Column 6 is the column for the price, as header is equal to train for 600 seconds, which is 10 minutes. And this is the summary of my results that I've just made right now. And last picture, this is how it goes. So after it finishes training, this is how things are going to look like. This is how things are going to look like. Hopefully, we're going to focus on this next week, Tuesday, when we focus on AI and touch up on this. So the result of the command line interface, this is what it does basically. It produces a what? It produces a console application folder for us in our file where we saved. So you see, here's my location in which I saved the file capright, and then sample regression. So if I click on sample regression, it it creates a C# application file for me and also a zip file for me, so I can use it anywhere I want. So this is a type of AI tool that we uses no code, or it doesn't involve you to write any code at all. It does just the rest of the work for you. So if we put it into perspective, is that it's an AI tool that helps us developers write do machine learning without writing any code at all, without going to any data scientists at all. And also it helps those who are getting new to the environment and getting their gist around it without writing any code. We will continue next week with better results compared to this one. I just wanted to show you the difficulties and the hardships of going through this with what comes about with machine learning. So if you're still interested, you will stay tuned for next week's episode. So Meleze, over to you. Hmm. Let me let me check on the technical side. Um, technical side. Everything seems to be fine on my side. Yeah. Mm. Yes. Samaleze, you're gonna have to repeat again. Now I figured out the problem. Try
Oh,
speaking
okay. No, no,
again. Yeah, repeat again. Sorry if that's okay. Can you repeat
yeah.
what you just mentioned a few minutes ago?
Can they hear me?
Yeah, now they can hear you. There was a problem and I just sorted it out.
Oh, okay. So I was saying thank you so much for showing us machine learning, and also we know there's live sessions. The live demos. They actually are quite something, because sometimes you feel like, oh, okay, I'm preparing for my session tomorrow. And as I'm preparing for my session, everything works fine. I'm doing this and it's proper. And then on the day of the session, and you're doing your live demo, something is wrong. Visual Studio is giving you a problem that you don't know where it's coming from. So people need to understand that we actually go through this a lot as devs, and I'm sure most devs out there actually understand what's going on. And as well, as I was saying, that I learned a lot today with this session, because as I'm about to enroll for the advanced diploma, they have a module about machine learning, and this session and its future sessions are gonna help me a lot, because I think I'm gonna adopt this machine learning sessions into the module itself, and then I'm trying to use it for my projects, my future projects in the module and in the program. So this will be helpful, and I hope a lot of people learned from this. And yeah, man, thank you so much, Narcis, for giving us this information. I hope everyone is excited as much as I am for the upcoming sessions next week. So thank you
Awesome.
so
Awesome.
much.
I'm glad to hear that, Someleze, that it will help you. And I hope that you've ironed out all the difficulties and all the and like the reason why I wanted to do it live and go through these difficulties to show that it's not rosy. What you think application development or what you think IT is really not rosy. This is the reality of things. But where there's a will, there's a way, and that's what I wanted to show you. And with the next episodes, we're just gonna look at the fun stuff and let the machine learning do its magic. So thank you once more, Somalese, for having me on the show, and we'll tune in next week for more fun. Thanks.
Yeah, but before we forget, this week, Anasis and I are speaking at the Scottish Summit. My session is tomorrow. It's Wednesday tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So my session is tomorrow, and it's at 12 South African time. It's at 12 to 12:45, and Narcissus' session is on Saturday around 5 p.m. So please do tune in our sessions. Mine will be introduction to Power Apps with AI Builder, and his will be more about computer vision and the works that he's showing us here, the exciting stuff. So don't miss out. And also, before I forget to mention, we have Women in Tech Wednesdays tomorrow, and we have exciting stuff. That's all I can say. And I hope this works as a teaser for you guys, because we have exciting stuff, and I can't wait to actually see what the session has for us tomorrow. So please do tune in at 3 p.m. till 4. Same time, same place tomorrow. I must say, I feel like I'm a presenter at SAPC 2 or SAPC 3 or something. Yeah, but yeah, don't miss out tomorrow. Don't miss out Women in Tech on Wednesdays, and also don't miss out my session at the Scottish Summit. You can go on www.scottishsummit.com to get your ticket, or you can watch it on YouTube, it will be live at the Scottish Summit YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us for today. Hope to see you tomorrow as well.
I sometimes feel that you wasted your youth for me, but I know it's not the way you feel.
We'll do it all, everything on our own. We don't need anything or anyone. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? time, chasing cars around our heads. I need your grace to remind me to find my own. All that I am, all that I ever was, is here in your perfect eyes. They're all I can see. I don't know where, confused about how as well. Just know that these things will never change for us at all.
See that girl over there, cutie with the long brown hair. In the summertime we used to hang together, holding hands by the beach, feeling each other's heartbeats, thinking life was perfect, I should have known better. And when she walked away, I didn't think I'd be okay. But we were just a summertime fling. When it came apart, I didn't think she'd break my heart. But we were just a summertime fling. 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 See that girl over there, cutie with the long brown hair. In the summertime we used to hang together, holding hands by the beach, feeling each other's heartbeats, thinking life was perfect, I should have known better. We were just a summertime flame. 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 Complicated.